Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Rapway Homestead. Today is one of them days where I've got way more planned to do than I will probably accomplish. Today is going to be the day that we are going to, or I am going to get our pasture area mowed. It's been on the to-do list for all summer, and I just haven't got it done, which is okay because I need that area cleared so I can start parking shrink wrap storage units for customers out there. So this morning we're gonna try to get everything out, get the tractor hooked up, get it ready to rock and roll on the brush hog, and then I have a pickup from the lake at 9 o'clock, so just an hour from now. So we're gonna try to get everything out, hooked up, ready, maybe even hopefully get the John Deere checked and serviced, just oil, or not oil change, but oil checked, greased to make sure it's ready to rock and roll, check hydraulic fluid and all that before we start working this thing today. But yeah, so come along with me. It's going to be a day of just getting work done and enjoy watching the grass get cut down. It's pretty darn tall, and there's a lot of thistle and stuff like that in there. So we're going to take an ugly chunk of yard and make it look hopefully a lot better. So let's get the tractor fired up and get after it. There we go. Everything's fired up, everything's started, that's great. Let everything warm up for a second and we'll start getting stuff pulled out. First thing I'm gonna have to do is grab my pontoon scissor trailer and get that pulled up front and get that hooked onto the pickup. But then we're gonna have to pull everything out of the shed, including the El Camino. We're gonna have to move that in order to get to the brush hog. That's always how it is when you got equipment, is no matter, for me anyway, what I need, it's always all the way in the back of the shed. It's just the way it is, but we'll get everything hooked up and keep rocking and rolling here. All right, now that we got all that stuff out of the way, got to fire this big girl up here and move it ahead a couple of feet so I can get to the brush hog behind it. I really need to rearrange this whole shed, which will probably be a future video. That's on my list for today. However, I don't know if that's going to happen. That's going to be a pretty lofty goal. I need to rearrange, tuck this thing in the back corner, and make some more room in here. But for now, we just got to get this fired up so I can move it ahead a little bit. I plan to do some future videos with this, if that'd be something you guys would be interested in. This is my 1973 Chevy El Camino. It's got a big block 454 in it. Just got to hook the battery back up here. I always disconnect it or it seems to go dead. It needs quite a bit of work, or could use quite a bit of work, but it's here and it's a work in progress, and it's a running, driving car, but the brakes are sketchy, but it's a work in progress. Let's see how it starts. that stuff, it doesn't fully set. You kind of got to do it by hand a little bit, but it ran. But if you heard it, barely started. That battery is just about dead. Thing hasn't been sitting that long, only a couple weeks, but look at the mouse nest and the acorns that came shooting out of it. God, I hate mice. I don't know what to do about it. This is the only place I have to store it, and I'm just not going to pay $100+ a month to park it somewhere in a storage facility when I have somewhere to put it. It's just dirt floor, and there's just no way to keep the mice out of an old pole shed. This building is nothing special, but it works, keeps stuff out of the weather. We'll see, maybe I'll try to pack that full of something and then put some sort of mouse killer inside the cab. We'll see, but we'll let it warm up and then we'll get the brush hog hooked on. Don't have one of them fancy tractors with a little treat button, you know? Almost got her. So close. There we go. Woo, got her. Now it's top link. Gotta go up. A little more. A little more. And down. There we go. All right. All you'll have to do is hook the PTO up. And I always shut the tractor off before I hook the PTO up because you don't want to get in a fight with that thing spinning around. You'll be all wrapped up in there and dead before you wake up. Hang up my little bungee here and plug her in. This brush hog is a 5-foot brush hog. I think it's the heavy duty one from Fleet Farm. It works good. It's about all this tractor wants though. But I wanted it as wide as the wheelbase so you mow what you're driving on. Or and if you're backing up, you can mow before you drive on it, rather. But there, we're all hooked up. Get up to the shop and we'll get it, grease everything and check fluids, make sure we're good to put this thing to work. All right, so one of the big things, if you guys caught the last video where we did some tractor repairs, I'm curious to see if our PTO switch works better, our PTO stays engaged, I should say. Hopefully it does. I really hope that works. But the other issue is that hydraulic leak, and I have not gotten that addressed yet. So the first thing I want to do is make sure we've got enough hydraulic fluid in here to do this. Because we're going to be working this tractor pretty hard today for a while doing this brush hogging, so. Go ahead and give her a good check here and make sure we're in the safe line. Ooh, that's not good. It's empty. Well, it's not empty, but there's none on the stick. So I hope I have some of this high guard laying around. We're gonna have to go look. All right, well, I've got some. I'm hoping it's gonna be enough. We'll see. I just checked it not long ago and I topped it off, so it shouldn't be too low. I know I need to get this issue taken care of on here, and it's on my priority list, but I'm just hoping to get through the next, honestly, couple months of work with it. Winterizing season here before I pull it in the garage and rip it apart for a while. I'm just trying to get through the next little bit. This is difficult to do, I tell you, with a 5-gallon bucket and the cab here and everything. I'm hoping there's enough in here to do what we need to do. Well, there's probably at least a quart in there. If I can even get the jug to tip enough to get it out of here. Whoa, we can't waste it, that's for sure. This is a struggle. Well, I really hope this is enough. The closest John Deere dealer is about 2 hours away, so we'll see. I doubt it's gonna be, but not even on the stick. Well, we're gonna have to figure out some hydraulic fluid. Bummer. I'm gonna have to do some looking. Maybe I've got some laying around. I'm not sure. Well, after doing some thinking and a little Googling for about a minute, I realized that I'm gonna do the right thing. We're gonna drive to John Deere and buy the low viscosity high guard that's recommended in the tractor. It's what I've always ran. And I don't want to risk wrecking a transmission. In my quick Googling, I found out that they're in that low viscosity high guard, for one, it's better for winter, and for two, it has an additive in it for the wet clutch and the wet brake system in this tractor, in these types of tractors. So definitely don't want to risk not having that in there and burn up the clutches. So that's where we're heading. We're gonna go to Mother Deere and spend a bunch of money. Well, we got the juice. $81 for 3 gallons of high guard. Obviously I don't need 3 gallons today, but I might tomorrow, and I don't want to have to run back again. So yeah, $81 for 3 gallons of low viscosity high guard. Gotta pay for that green paint, I guess. Get home, get her dumped in, and finally get to mowing. I should have been mowing an hour ago already, but it is what it is. It's my fault I didn't have the stuff on hand, so it's rock and roll. All right, we made her home. Back on task. Like always, now I feel like I'm running late, but that's all right. Get the juice in the tractor here, and we'll start mowing. The wind's picking up a little bit, so I apologize for that. Kind of just gonna be what it is, I guess, but oof. Mess here. There we go. Pour some of this gold juice into here, and I don't know how much it's going to take. We'll probably dump about half this in, I'm thinking. It's going to take quite a bit, being it's not even on the dipstick. But I'll feel better knowing I got the right stuff, and it's good and full. It's a nice cool day out today too, which is awesome, because we're going to be working this tractor pretty good. Kitty, you're not going to want to be there. All right, let's see where that got us. dirt in there. Ooh, that's like perfect, actually. Right on. I don't know if you can see that, but that's right on the full line. So we're going to call that good. Perfect. All that driving, and I put, 2 quarts in. So there we go. Now we're ready to rock and roll, get something done here. All right, so this is kind of what we're up against. These tall thistles that are, you know, as tall as I am, 6 feet tall, 5.5 feet tall, whatever they are. And then just the grass. Now this grass isn't incredibly thick in most spots. There's some spots it gets pretty thick, but we got to mow from here all the way up around that tree line there and get all this cleared up. Now, there are a lot of obstacles in here that you can't see that are buried under the grass. For instance, ow, logs. This is just a chunk of wood, so we'll just mow that up and get rid of that. But there are rocks out here. I've tried to keep picked up, but there's a big rock pile we got to be careful around. There's also a pile of wire and garbage, basically. Every time I come out here and I see something random, I throw it in a certain spot. Probably not the best idea. That's what I've been doing, so we got to be careful not to hit that. And there's stumps ranging from just high enough to hit with the mower to, you know, pretty tall that we should be able to see when we get close. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take this and try to clean it all up. I'm gonna try to get you a drone shot of where we're gonna be all mowing, and then we'll get after it. right, well, this section's looking pretty darn good. It's not so jungly anymore. So now we got to move over to the second section here. Now, this second section, it starts getting trickier as far as working around trees, as you can see right there. So we're just kind of set you up, probably do some sort of a time lapse here maybe, but yeah, it gets tricky to film because I have to go so many different directions, but we'll throw the camera up here and we'll see what we can do. I found. Bunch of culvert pipe, or old rusted out culvert pipe. Great. I wonder if we wrecked anything. I re-engaged it and it seemed to be okay, so we'll see, I guess. Runs up from here in the ground, so I'm just going to wrap it on the hook here and we'll see if we can't pull it out. Hopefully it's not much. Old rusty barbed wire, that's a good way to be a tetanus shot, huh? I don't know if that's going to stay in there, let's see. Good, it wasn't much. Perfect. All right, well, what do you think of that? I think it turned out pretty darn good. It's hard to get how large of an area this is into perspective. It's really not that big. I'd say this is probably an acre of land or so. It's real skinny and long. But yeah, we got it done. We definitely hit a few rocks, as I'm sure you heard. We turned some big rocks into little rocks, that's for sure. I was gonna do a end drone shot for you, but the drone broke, so that's not gonna happen. But yeah, just putting the 855 John Deere to work. Everything worked great. I don't think we wrecked anything, which is awesome. I looked under there after we chewed up that chunk of culvert, and I don't think we did any damage. I think it was soft enough. It didn't wind up or nothing. I think it just kind of chewed it up and spit it out. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy this kind of content. I sure enjoy making these videos. If you wouldn't mind, share this video out, hit that subscribe